I want to impress someone, the dish I will make for sure will be steak. But for the most people that is a really scary task. But don't worry, if you follow exactly what I'm saying, after this video you will learn how to make the perfect steak every time. Let's go! So today I'm gonna learn you how to make the perfect steak every time, even without a thermometer. We're gonna talk about temperatures, we're gonna talk about cooking time, we're gonna talk about resting time, and we're gonna talk about what tools do you need.
I know. You probably heard that so many times, but a really good quality steak makes so much difference in the end result. What I'm using here is a sirloin steak, which is a perfect option if you have a lower budget. You can of course use ribeye steak, which in my opinion is the king of the steaks, but tends to be pricier. And the steak will always pair well with some fresh herbs, which in this case we have some fresh and aromatic thyme, some garlic, some butter, and of course salt and pepper. Now let's talk about pans. When I'm cooking steak, I really love to use my stainless steel pan. The benefit of a stainless steel pan is that it can reach really high temperatures, and of course it heats very evenly. You can also use cast iron, which pretty much make the same job. But in my opinion, if you want to choose a pan, the stainless steel is the way to go. Now in the other hand, if you only have a non-stick, you can still use it, but it has to be really hot. But you will not have the same results as the other two pans. Now another issue that it hurts me a lot. I'm always hearing that you have to take your steak out of the fridge at least 20 minutes before you cook it. But that makes absolutely no difference. I've tested it so many times and the end result is always the same. So please don't waste your time doing that. Now let's talk about seasoning. One of the biggest mistakes that you can make is to under-season your steak. You have to put a good amount of salt and pepper in the steak. Because don't forget, the minute that it hits the pan, a lot of that seasoning will go away. And if you butter baste your steak, a lot more will go away. So don't be afraid and salt it like a proper bad boy. Now the most important part, the time you cook it. Here I have roughly 1 inch steak, and a really good rule of thumb for a steak this size, if you want to achieve a perfect medium rare, you have to cook it for around 4 to 5 minutes. If you have a bigger steak, just do the maths and it will be the same thing. But if you have a giant steak, now it's advised to use a meat thermometer. And now to the fun part. Bring your stainless steel pan on the stove and put the heat on medium. A really good tip to know if your pan is hot and non-stick is to splash a little bit of water in it. If it evaporates like that, that means it's not ready. When your pan is hot enough and you splash a little bit of water in it, what do you want to see is something like that. The water just floats in the pan. This is a sign that your pan now is non-stick and ready to go. Now just put some high smoke point oil in the pan and place your steak in there, always away from you. You don't want any oil splash on you. Now a really good trick is to set a timer and flip your steak every 30 seconds. That will allow your steak to cook evenly and don't have grey spot in one side. Look how beautiful the crust is using a stainless steel pan. Now if you reach the 2.5 minutes mark, place the thyme, the garlic and the butter in the pan. Wait until the butter is melted and give your steak a nice bath for the rest 1.5 minutes. After a total of 4 minutes, your steak is ready. Place your steak onto your cutting board and rest it for a total of 8 to 10 minutes. After it's fully rested, slice your steak thin. And of course don't forget to pay the steak tax to your dog. And look what you can achieve just by using my simple tips. Thank you guys for watching and see you in the next video.